pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Oh, excuse me. Everybody please stand again. Oh. I'm sorry, getting it together here. We just came from another meeting. We had two people in our community that passed away this past week that have been very active in our community for many years. One of them was Richard Morissette, and Mr. Morissette had been on the Traffic Safety Commission meeting for at least 30 years, if not longer. And the other one was Pat Meisel. Pat was on our beautification committee, and I'd like to just take a few minutes or a few moments of silence for them, please. Thank you.
Bunton? Campbell?
Here.
Dempsey?
Here.
Ford?
Here.
Hill?
Here.
Crop? Here. Menser?
Here. Motion to excuse Commissioner Button.
Second. Roll call, please.
Campbell?
Yes.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Crop? Yes. Menser?
Yes.
Okay, presentations, well, this is announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. Do we have any reports? No. Okay, we have one presentation tonight, and the presentation is for the Local Treasurers Award. And this Local Treasurers Award is going to Mr. Dan Nevin from Thomas Nevin Jewelers. And let me just read the nominees, what they wrote about him. I don't know, maybe I can't. Dan Nevin has been a solid staple of our downtown business district in Mount Clemens for over 30 years as a proprietor of Thomas Nevin Jewelers. Dan has been involved in some form or fashion in nearly every event that has occurred in our downtown area, always with the eye towards improving business for everyone. Dan has volunteered his time, his skills, and much energy with donations and creations to be utilized to increase press, foot traffic, and patrons to and for our community. Dan's involvement has proven over the years to be a heartfelt commitment to Mount Clemens. Whether serving in the DDA or working with the Anton Arts Center, the Mount Clemens Goodfellows, donating his jewelry creations for raffle prizes at fundraisers, and thinking outside the box to generate good for the city of Mount Clemens. And I think that definitely describes Dan, and that was submitted by Pat and Shelley Rickard and Matt Drager. And if you come forth, Dan. I think they summed it up pretty good, huh?
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go over here. Need the mic turned around, or? Can you turn it around? Here we go, let's turn around to us. Okay. On behalf of the mayor and the city commission, Dan Nevin, Thomas Nevin Jewelers is presented with the annual Local Treasurer Award for exemplary positive contributions to the city of Mount Clemens. Through his action, Mr. Nevin has created a positive and lasting legacy for all members of our community to appreciate and be extremely proud of. Dan Nevin is hereby declared the local treasurer on this 20th day of March, 2017. All right, then I'll turn back around, and you can.
I'd just like to thank the people that nominated me, and of course the people that voted for me for this wonderful award. And I really appreciate working in Mount Clemens and helping out organizations like the Kiwanis and the Rotary Clubs and Wirtz Warriors and all of these great events that happen throughout our community here. Also, I'd like to really thank my customers for keeping me in business for 30 years. they're really the ones that made it happen. There's also my family and my friends that I couldn't have done it without. The one person in particular, Jane Nevin, my sister-in-law, I share this award with her, and also my lovely wife. Thank you, everyone.
Now we have a presentation from Turning Point in observance of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Ms. Karn Bates Gazier.
Thank you. Karen Bates Gazier, 147 Ludwig, but I am here tonight, as Barb said, on behalf of Turning Point. Former Commissioner Dave Harrington was scheduled to be here with me tonight. Unfortunately, he had to take care of something with one of his grandkids. Many of you know, and some of you may not, that he is raising his grandchildren because his daughter was killed in a domestic violence incident, and so he is a big-time supporter of Turning Point, and I'm very grateful for him, but I told him it was far more important that he handle his grandchildren than to be here tonight. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of read from the prepared statement, but I'm going to wing it a little bit too. So for 37 years, Turning Point's been providing emergency support and prevention services for survivors of domestic and sexual violence in our community. We have developed comprehensive and notable programs that address the urgent and long-term needs of the victims. Imagine your home has become a dangerous place for you and your children. Today, you can contact our crisis and helpline and speak with a trained advocate who can help you assess your danger and safety plan with you, so that or even offer you shelter if you need it. Imagine you've been raped, you're in shock, you thought you were going to die. Today, you would be directed to Turning Point's Forensic Nurse Examiner program, where a trained nurse will provide you medical care, evidence collection, and a private setting designed for your needs. A crisis advocate would meet with you and address you and your family's emotional needs and concerns and follow up with you afterwards. Trained counselors are available to help you feel safe again and regain control of your life. The safety net has been built over the past 25 years with the help from the Violence Against Women Act funding, or VAWA. VAWA was established in 1994 and is the only national public policy that addresses the epidemic of violence in our communities. VAWA funding has improved our national criminal justice response to violence against women, ensures services for victims, and creates informed policy and practice for the intervention and prevention of domestic violence, sexual assault, stalking, and human trafficking. As a side note, Michigan is #2 in the country in human trafficking. Scary little statistic. In just Macomb County, VAWA ensures a safety net for victims through our 24-hour crisis line that handles 12,000 calls annually. VAWA is up for renewal in 2018, and we hope we can count on the community's support for the renewal of VAWA. Last year in this community, Turning Point served 229 survivors. So out of Mount Clemens, we had 229 people that came through our services, whether it be the sexual assault, whether it be shelter, or just in some counseling, it could be in any way. Plus, we also did our prevention education at the high school and saw 30 students there as well. April is recognized across the nation as National Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We are asking community leaders to commit to wearing a teal ribbon in April to raise awareness, and y'all should have your teal ribbons. In closing, we appreciate all of your help and any leadership you can provide in preserving the safety net for survivors of domestic violence and sexual violence. We thank all the donors and volunteers from this community, and there are a great many. Lots of you have been to the hen party and some of the other great events, and I'm going to point to Commissioner Kropp, who actually hosted this year. That's been going on in this community for a good many years, and so we are located here, we get a lot of support here, but we also serve a lot of people from here, and we just want you to be aware of all of that. Turning Point is continuing to expand. We've opened offices in St. Clair Shores, we have services in Warren, and we are getting ready to open services in Romeo. So we're kind of across the county, but we serve over 20,000 people a year through what we do. And so we just want you to, again, be aware of that. Our funding is coming up next year. Some of our funding is in danger this year. The community block grant money is might be going away, and some of the other things which I'm sure you're all aware of. So we're very concerned at Turning Point that our funding is in danger, and if this act goes away and that money that comes with it goes away, domestic violence shelters across the country will no longer exist as we know it. So just wanted to make you all aware. I'll take any questions if anybody has any.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. Please wear your ribbons. And you guys have calendars. There's a lot going on for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We're going to be at the Emerald Theater for the film festival this year. I'm going to plug it. Luna Fest is at the Emerald this year. buy a ticket, come out. It's 9 inspiring films by women directors for women, but men are invited as well. So lots of stuff going on. Come check us
Okay.
out.
Thank you. All right, do we have any meetings to announce? No meetings to announce? Okay. Adoption of the agenda.
I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop. Yes. Menser.
Yes.
Okay. Public participation, this is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, residential address, and that you adhere to our 3-minute rule. The mic is open. 10, 9, 8.
Diane Cubic, 93 Riverside Drive, also 65 Macomb Place downtown. I came to talk about the shed, but first I want to say, you know, over the years, you guys should be commended because you held it together and you kept us from many terrible things that might happen. But I think it's now time that we believe we have a future. We need to plan for that future. I think the garden shed or the farmer's shed is probably a big part of that. We need to think about competition in the big world. We're struggling. We kind of don't have an identity. We have trouble getting foot traffic. The farmer's shed would provide a lot of things for this city as far as the retailers, but I think the biggest part of it would be helping to encourage people to move to Mount Clemens. The weirdest thing happened this Saturday. It was 68. We had foot traffic. Unbelievable. And of all the things that we've ever wanted to see, there were young people who own homes in this city and they walked downtown. Yay! Hallelujah! We've been waiting so long for this. We're starting to see that rebirth. We need to think about what will help that birth along. What can we do to make this happen? And the farmer's shed is really a crucial part of that. It will help. We can use it for other things. It's a big project. We haven't done one in the city. Getting the farmers back down here will be amazing. There's so many uses and so many benefits that I really think if we want to move into the future, it's a crucial, critical step. We have to build this city. We're worried about money, but as the town builds, so will property values, which will what? Increase our tax base. We have to start somewhere. We have to take a first step, and we have to believe in our hearts, believe in our city, that we have a future. We're a team. We can do this. Come on, guys, let's go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Josh Elger, 1349 Balmoral. Here on behalf of the Public Housing Commission. I was here 3 meetings ago, kind of asked some questions and haven't had any response. I'm passing around a list of our attendance for the last 4 years at the meetings. We still have a concern of how our commissioners were appointed at our meetings. If you see on the back page, it says under the absences for 2016, the 2 commissioners at the very bottom, it totals up how many meetings people have missed. I missed 2 for the 4 years. I've missed 2. We had 1 commissioner miss 22 meetings out of 48, and he was reappointed to the commission. A second commissioner missed 15 meetings out of 48. He was not reappointed. A commissioner missed 8 meetings out of 48. She was not reappointed. And we had another commissioner for the 2 years that she was on has been at 100%. The commissioner that I have a concern about was already talked to about at the commission meetings. Met with the previous city manager. Said that he'd promised to pick his attendance up. It did for a while, and then it dropped again. He's also made the current promise to the city manager now, said that he would start attending. It's just kind of hard to keep the meetings going when our meetings are not attended by the commissioners. the commissioner in question that has missed the meetings, he took the commission. We voted at the organizational meeting to move our meetings to Tuesday night to make it a little more accommodating to him so that he could attend these meetings. And he said he had a prior engagement previous. So he took an appointment from the city to come to the meetings that he already had a prior engagement on the same night. And then at their meeting, it was kind of brought in, we received a letter from the city manager telling us how we need to run our meetings, how to run some things, and yes, we are fixing that. The meeting was changed, and now I have my vice president of the commission pretty much unable to attend our meetings. She's not able to drive. Our meetings were held at our 50 church location where our business office is, and now we have to move them here to City Hall because the first meeting we have, it was kind of pushed at us that we need to come here because we need to be open, open door, we have to be accessible, which, you know, we have 40% of our residents are at 50 church already. So, you know, kind of push that. We'd just like to know why the commissioner that has the worst attendance was reappointed. And at tonight's meeting, you'll see how many reappointments we have already.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Danielle Tierpkoff, 54 Dorothea. What I wanted to bring to the floor is I was just wondering, the streets are, my street as well as other ones, they're just so nasty and dirty, and they've been that way for quite a while. And I don't like my mother, who's over 90, wanting to go out there and clean the street. I have to pull her back. I have to tell her, Mom, it's not our job. In the condition that she's in, I don't want her just busting her butt like that. Maybe I'll just sweep a little bit around, but I wonder when the street cleaners going to come. Haven't saw them in quite a while, and I know other people that told me the same thing about their streets. I tell them, well, they should come here to the city commission meetings, or if they're not able to come, they should call up. And I just hope it's done soon. I know that we've had bad weather off and on, though January wasn't too bad. But whenever it rains, there's a gutter in front of my house where I live. And it seems like everything stops there, whether it's leaves some trees, break down buds. And I wondered where those big buds came from a tree across the street that they told me at the farmer's market when I took one of the leaves. It was called an Oriental Amber. First I thought it was maple, but I thought this is much too big. They were big like this. And it doesn't matter what it is, it's just all kind of debris, whether it's leaves or just people's garbage, all stopping there. And I'll move it aside with the rake or the broom, but I do not like my mom going out there when it's the bad weather and whenever the rain pours down. It just blocks up the gutter. It seems like, cause I don't know, maybe it's a connection to where the sewers are, and this one goes right in front of mine and down the street too. So I really hope something can be done about it, because it's been a long time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay. No administrative responses. I need a motion to approve the minutes from previous meetings.
Motion to approve the minutes from the March 6th work session and March 6th commission meeting.
Support.
Roll call.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop. Yes. Menster,
Yes.
Campbell.
Okay, general business. 9A, request approval to enter into an agreement with the Michigan Department of Transportation for billing of stormwater runoff treatment. I need a motion.
Move to adopt the resolution and approve the contract between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Mount Clemens, MDOT contract number 16-5407, as presented, and to authorize the interim city manager and the public service director to sign and enter into agreement.
Second.
Okay. The Michigan Department of Transportation, MDOT, owns a stormwater collection system along Gratiot that flows directly to the Mount Clemens wastewater treatment plant via a combined sewer. Enclosed for your review is an agreement between MDOT and the city, which allows the city to bill for the treatment of the storm water runoff. This is a contractual document between the Michigan Department of Transportation and the City of Mount Clemens, which authorizes the collection of fees for the project. The annual amount that will be collected from MDOT is estimated at approximately $60,000, or 1.53% of the expenses for wastewater treatment. Please be advised that this contract has been reviewed by the city attorney. The attached resolution is necessary in order to specifically name the officials who are authorized to sign the said contract.
Questions? Commissioner Menser.
The first thing I don't see is an ending date to this. Is this into perpetuity
Or until they separate.
or until they
The
separate?
line.
Okay. And what I'm looking at is, it says expenses for wastewater treatment, and it says here that it's based on a ratio of runoff attributed to the state trunk line highway to the runoff from the entire drainage area. I guess I'm not clear exactly what the city's cost is, because it says here 60% or $60,000 or 1.53% of expenses for the wastewater treatment. So what is the city's drop dead cost?
The total cost for the treatment of the water, and then their percentage is 1.53% of that amount. That amount will vary yearly. The total cost to run the waste, to treat the
She's asking.
water, I don't know the total cost, but the engineers utilized past 5 years. That's how they come up with the $60,000 estimate.
So to make it easy, is the city incurring extra expenses signing this contract?
No, this city's going to get 60 grand that it
Okay.
hasn't been receiving in the past.
Okay.
That's what it boils down to.
Does this contract, I mean, if this sewer, this line, because it's owned by the Michigan Department, correct? Like Department of Transportation, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay,
it's
so,
the state.
I mean, just because I have sinkhole in the back of my mind, you know, whenever I hear sewer lines. If there was an issue with their line, then is it their problem?
Yes.
Okay, and this contract doesn't negate that, right? I mean,
No.
okay. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, this contract is just simply so that we can collect for treating that stormwater.
Okay.
Because ultimately, that stormwater shouldn't be flowing to the wastewater treatment plant. And so it's not separated, so that stormwater is being treated, and now we're going to be paid to treat that stormwater.
And at some point, the engineers indicate that they believe the state will separate,
Correct.
go through separation like the city's done already with most of its sewer system.
That'd be good.
Because they don't want to pay us.
But in the interim, they'll be paying
Sorry, but they'd
this
pay for it.
percentage.
Right.
It'd be
Yeah.
good for our
And I
Right,
believe
okay.
that we're
Community.
actually going to go back, we started this process back in 2013, and I think we're going to be able to go back and collect since then.
Oh, retroactive.
Oh, that's good.
Sounds good.
That's good news.
Then,
Great.
So my other question, it says the city will design or cause to be designed the project and shall accept responsibility for the design. Do we have somebody, do we have that design, or do we have somebody capable of that design, or will we be paying for that design?
Well, we have the capabilities. It's not designed to do that separation. And if the city were to do a separation and separate MDOT sewer from going, to the wastewater treatment plant, MDOT would be on the hook for that 1.53 of that expense as well. Or it would have to be reassessed, but they would be on the hook for that, portion of that separation.
And the design language is boilerplate. This is a form contract that they've utilized. There is no new system that is being designed and constructed. The system's already in place, but that's language they have in their general contracts.
And we have no intent of doing that, separating.
Not currently,
unless-
no.
Unless the state decides they are going to pay and do it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, roll call.
Ford,
Yeah.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes. 9B, adoption of a resolution establishing and/or revising fees applicable to the septic and vector discharge at the City of Mount Clemens wastewater treatment plant. Need a motion.
Motion to approve the adoption of the resolution revising fees applicable to the septic and vector discharges at the City of Mount Clemens wastewater treatment plant.
Second.
The resolution is to revise the current wastewater treatment plant rates for septic vector disposal services effective May 1st, 2017. These revised rates were reviewed with the Commission at the January 17, 2017 work session. City Engineer Kyle Seidel of AEW attended the work session and discussed the methodology for reviewing fees and charges. July 1st, 2013 was the last time these service charges were increased. The proposed amounts are less expensive than other locations that provide this service and will cover the city's plant cost to provide the service.
Any questions?
So again, this is increased income for the city.
Yes.
This is a good thing.
It's all good. Commissioner Menser?
Are we going to send some kind of notice to our normal and usual vendors that we are adopting this increase so that they are prepared for it for May 1st?
Yes, we are.
Okay. And I'm looking at the plant costs. It says we'll cover the city's plant costs. This is the maintenance and man hours and the energy costs. Is this like a break even for us or actually bring in income?
It should be bringing it in.
Okay.
income.
Anything else?
No.
Roll call.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
9C, approve purchases and the payment of invoices. Need a motion?
I move to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Support?
Are there any questions? Commissioner Menser?
I'm looking at a couple things here. Under the attorney bills, we have Housing Commission costs $443.75. Are we getting that back from their fund and org, or are we billing them for that?
No.
It's our expense?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm looking at the bid contract for office supplies to Care Albert. It says that this is for a 3-year period. Is this $3,733 a per-year cost, or is that for the total 3?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll have to let you
She's
know.
not here. Linda's not
Okay.
here.
She's
but,
not here.
We can double check that for you and get back with you.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's for
I would think it's a 1-year
Year.
cost
I think
based
it's a
on
year.
the total.
that amount.
On the
but
total.
I can't say for sure.
Right.
Anything else?
Nope, I'm
Nope.
good.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yeah.
Hill,
Yes.
Okay, city managers report.
Consent agenda.
Oh, consent agenda. Oh, would you like to approve the consent agenda?
I move to I approve the consent agenda as presented.
Consented.
Support.
Now, roll call?
Menser,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Now, city managers report.
A work session was held this evening at 6 o'clock for the City Commission to meet with the Downtown Development Authority to discuss the proposed farmers market shed. The proposed fiscal year 2017-2018 budget will be distributed to the mayor and city commissioners the week of March 20th, with work sessions to follow beginning next Monday, March 27th, and Tuesday, March 28th. Curbside compost pickup is scheduled to begin on Monday, March 27th. Please place compost at the curb in paper bags or containers not exceeding 32 gallons, labeled compost, no sooner than 6 p.m. the day before your scheduled pickup day, but by 7 a.m. on your scheduled pickup day. The city's engineer contractor, AEW, has begun performing inspection of wastewater manholes, catch basins, and pump stations throughout the city as part of the Stormwater Asset Management Wastewater Grant. And the next edition of the Clementine's newsletter will be delivered to households in the April 5th edition of the Journal newspaper.
Any questions of the city manager? Okay. That compost pickup, it also goes for the regular garbage pickup, am I correct?
It goes at the same time.
6 p.m. the night before, and by 7 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
So that doesn't mean you can put it out 2 days before, which we've seen. Morning before. Right. So, just a reminder. And all those schedules are in the Clementine that comes to your house. Hang on to it, because it has all that information in there, when, times, and everything. So, just a reminder. Okay, commissioner comments. Commissioner Ford.
Mr. Woods, how is the treatment of the sewer from 15 Mile Road coming along?
You're not getting any.
Not getting any?
No.
The county at this point has decided, I mean, it's not over yet.
No.
But at this point, we are not receiving any of that sewage. They currently are not dumping. They're bypassing the sinkhole, but we are currently not receiving any.
That's all.
Commissioner Menser.
So in Saturday's Macomb Daily, it reported that there were 24 new students in the Mount Clemens Community School System, and I was very pleased to see that. That's good news for our school system. The Sheriff Department is offering Law Enforcement Academy for seniors. There is a 4-week series of classes that explains the operations of the Sheriff Department and its different divisions. Classes are held at the ISD on Garfield from 9 to noon on April 3rd, April 10th, April 17th, and April 24th, all Mondays. Topics will include the Detective Bureau, Evidence Technicians, the Youth Bureau, the Special Enforcement Team, which is SET, the Macomb Area Computer Enforcement Team, which is MACE, and I have to brag, my brother is a member of the MACE team, and MATS, or the Macomb Auto Theft, the K-9 Unit, the Traffic, and the Marine Division. It is free to register. You get to see all those units up close and personal, and the people that run them. So I wholeheartedly recommend it to you. You can register for that at 586-307-9311. And I want you to know that I failed this weekend. I failed miserably. I went to Champagne Chocolates and I bought white coconut haystacks again. I could not help myself, and I chastised myself as I ate them, but ate them I did. Thank you.
Commissioner Krapp.
I'd like to first start by thanking the fire department, the sheriff's department, and all of the DPW workers and probably other city workers who had to deal with the monumental windstorm that came through. Was that last week? 2 weeks ago? It was a cold couple days in the Crop House because we were without power. So we were one of the fortunate ones, though, who had it by the weekend. And we considered ourselves lucky. But I saw even the person who does the dog catching typically, I saw him out with a pickup truck picking up a lot of branches. And so I know that everyone had to really pitch in with that. And so thank you to everybody who did. Spring is coming up, and I'm really hoping that the weather starts to show that as well. And so is my husband, because he's working on our boats and dying to get them in the water. But with the increased temperature, I've noticed the increased amount of people outside, including children. And so please, as you're driving through our neighborhoods, be mindful that kids are riding their bikes, and even though they should stay on the sidewalks, they are going to, chase that ball or make a split-second decision that might not be the smartest decision, but they're children. And please, please put your cell phones down and not have distracted driving, and please slow down. Our residential speed limits are 25 miles an hour, and I live on Bellevue, and I'm near Gratiot, but it's not Gratiot. And it's not 35 miles an hour, it's not 45 miles an hour, it's 25. So slow down. You would not want to injure a child or an adult, or let alone kill someone. So please, please slow down. I will be having coffee talks. Thank you everyone who came to the March coffee talks. Coffee talks in April will be April 11th and 15th, both at 9:30 a.m. At John's Family Grill. So that is right before Easter, but I'm hoping that everyone will still show up. We, of course, spring, again, that theme. It is a great time because the composting is going to be collecting to get outside and clean up. I think everyone needs to take a look at your property and take an opportunity to do things that you can improve Mount Clemens. If you improve your small area of Mount Clemens, then as a greater whole, the city becomes a better place to live. I had the pleasure of helping coordinate the first meet and greet for YPMC, which is the Young Professionals of Mount Clemens. They're an active group that is just beginning, but they're already starting to plan for some really great activities and getting people who are of the ages of 21 to 39 active in our city. And they had a great meet and greet at the Rock Room last week. Please make sure, if you're at all interested, or if you have anyone in your family of the age of 21 to 39, watch their website, which is ypmc.org. I'm sorry, ypmc.com, or their Facebook page and Instagram accounts. They are going to be planning some great activities for the spring and the summer. So there's really no commitment to join, no fees or registration. Just show up and expect a good time. The hashtag for the group is Yaysayers Wanted. So, the city, on a social media note, the city has a Facebook page. The City of Mount Clemens has a Facebook page finally. So please go ahead and like that. They often post information like if there's a water main break, or if City Hall is going to be closed. They post meetings on there. So it's a really great way to stay in tune with the city. And I believe that's all I have. So thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Hill.
Well, I'd like to say happy first day of spring. It doesn't look much like spring, or doesn't seem like it yet, but I can see signs that it's coming. The lilac bush I see out of my kitchen window has small buds on it, and I can see crocus plants starting to come up on the side of my house. I'm also happy to hear that the composting starts again next week, because I have a big yard cleanup to do, and so that's very much appreciated. I am very happy to announce a new award program sponsored by the Bath City Association. We are offering 3 $1,000 awards to Mount Clemens homeowners who are or have already restored a multi-use house to a single-family home. The conversion must have been started no more than 3 years ago, and the owners must fill out an application giving basic information about name, address, etc., and they need to give the date the restoration started, expected completion date, the number of units the building contained prior to the beginning of work, identify permits issued by the city, and give a brief description of the project. We're doing an application this time because we did similar awards a few years ago, and afterwards people said, well, I turned my house from multifamily to single family and you didn't give me money. So we're now having an application for people to fill out so we know how many people are doing this. But for anybody that's redoing a house, $1,000 can come in real handy. The application must be received by June 30th, 2017, and the checks will be presented at the August 7th, 2017 City Commission meeting. So if you have undertaken a project of this nature or know somebody who is restoring a multi-family house back to a single-family house, please apply. I have a few applications with me, or you can pick up applications here at City Hall in the Community Development Office or at the City Clerk's office. And again, the Bath City Association is offering 3 $1,000 awards to people who restore a multi-family house back to a single-family home. I hope we get lots of applications. March, among other events, celebrates National Women's History Month. This month is designed to recognize the many contributions women have made to our country through the years. While there are many ways women have contributed professionally, artistically, through sports, the civil rights movement, other political ways, I decided to find out how many women have actually been heads of state in countries throughout the world. By 1991, the number of countries that had some experience under female leadership had reached 20. But today, 70 countries have had some sort of female leadership, meaning elected, appointed, or interim, including 5 out of the 10 most populated countries in the world. Nordic countries stand out for their length of female leadership. As of 2017, Iceland had a female president or prime minister in 20 of the past 50 years. Norway and Finland rank close behind with 13 and 12 years respectively. In contrast, the United States and Mexico have never had a woman as chief executive, and Canada's first and only female prime minister served for just 4 months. I'm going to slaughter this name, but I'm going to take a stab at it anyway. Sirimano Bandaranaike, who became the first prime minister ever when she was elected head of Sri Lanka's government 4 decades ago, and she just retired this past August 2016. So she was in office a long time. Indira Gandhi was the second woman to become a head of state. She became the first and only female leader of India in 1966 and served 2 terms. In 2015, there were 22 female world leaders. At the present time, I was only able to identify 7. They are Angela Merkel, Chancellor of Germany, who was elected in 2005, Sheikh Hasina Wajed, Prime Minister of Bangladesh, elected in 2009, Erna Solberg, Prime Minister of Norway, elected in 2013, Sara Kuugangelawa of Namibia, Beata Szydło, Prime Minister of Poland, elected in 2015, and Aung San Suu Kyi of Myanmar, elected in 2016, and Theresa May, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, elected in 2016. The world's most populous nation and female leader status stands as follows. This is of the 10 most populous nations.
India, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, and Bangladesh have all had female leaders. China, the United States, Nigeria, Russia, and Japan have never had female leaders. I found this information very interesting for a variety of reasons, and I hope you did too. Have a good evening and a great week.
Thank you. Commissioner Campbell.
I have a couple of things here. I have quite a few kids at school wanting to know if the police have stepped up their patrols in town here, because they seem to have been given tickets and patrolling pretty heavily, so I was quite happy to hear that. So cheers to the police department. This week out on our street, people have been out picking up sticks, etc., and I was told to give some cheers to the fire department and the DPW for their work during the windstorm, and jeers to DTE for taking 6 days to get the power back on. And lastly, the leaf sweeping that was brought up by a resident. Also, in the fall, there were so many cars there, the street never got swept, so the leaves are still on the street. So, are we ever gonna get signs put out to move the cars? Thank you.
I'm going to give you some signs you can walk out there. Okay, tonight we reappointed 9 people to different committees. They were reappointments, they have been on there. And we have 4 new people who are on some of the committees. They volunteered. And I just want to thank all of them because a lot of these things could not get done in the city without the volunteers behind it. So thank you so much for volunteering. I'd like to also just give a shout out and thanks to Michelle Weiss for this great weekend we had, first time around with the St. Patrick's Day. Although I did not go downtown, I heard a lot about it, and I understand we had thousands of people bearing coats and scarves, but they seem to have a good time. So another great event. Thanks. Really appreciate it. I think that's what Mount Clemens needs, more events. And with that, I would like we have to go into exec session, correct?
Mm-hmm.
A motion to go into exec session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Support.
Roll call?
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
And this is attorney-client privilege information, correspondence. We're supposed to say that while we're going in. And we're going to take a 5-minute recess. We have a motion.
I move to authorize Dickinson Wright PLLC to retain AKT Peerless as environmental consultant for methane monitoring and authorize interim city manager and/or the assistant city manager to execute any necessary documents.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Bunton. Oh, sorry.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Who seconded it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.